Welcome to Friendly Conversation. I'm your host, Darnley Van Booker. It's a pleasure for me to have Mr. John Scotty. He's a Lamborghini dealership owner in Montreal, and I have the pleasure to have him right in front of me. And we're gonna be able to try to get some information out of him and make sure that we're able to give vision and show how hard work can bring you far in life. Because he's successful, he has all of this and all of that, but we got the chance to chat and everything comes down to hard work. So welcome to Friendly Conversation.
Thank you,
Mr. Scotty.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, that's my pleasure. Let's start by, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Who is John Scotty?
My name is John Scotti, so I'm Italian, born in Italy, raised in Canada.
Parla italiano?
Sì, molto.
Wonderful.
Sono di Napoli.
Oh, okay.
So the name John came from, actually John would be Giovanni in Italian. My name is Giovanni. Scotti. So John came in when I have one boss before I started on my own. And I started in the car business, I was 9 years old.
Can I ask you how?
Yes, it's a funny thing, but I started in a gas station. I'm going to resume it very fast. I started in a gas station. I was putting gas, washing cars, tire pressure. And at 13 years old, I moved to a place called Dingy's, which the owner was John Dingman, which he was my mentor. I worked for there from 13 years old till 20 years old. But I had my garage at like 18 years old, so I had two jobs.
Full-time?
I'm sorry?
Full-time, both of them?
No. Full-time, John Dingman. At night I was working, I was starting my business, I was 18 years old. Okay? So that's where the name John comes. He would call me John and not Giovanni because he didn't know how to pronounce it. He was English from England. So that's where John Scotty came along. But my real name is Giovanni, Italian, Scotti, born in Naples, raised in Canada.
Wow. You know what? I love the fact, I like the mentor part because it's something that's all usually forgotten, that you need an example, and that's what I want you to be, even though people are not as close as you were to Mr. John, your mentor, but people could look at you and say, hey, I want to do what he's doing. So you have a clear example, and you see the hard work that someone is doing. I love it. And this is fascinating to me. So how long have you been running your business for?
47 years last September.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
47 years.
And how do you celebrate such a milestone?
How do I celebrate? I never did. I should have. If everything goes well, if God's with me, I'm going to do it at 50 years in business. I'm going to celebrate.
I hope that. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I hope that you're able to do it, yes.
So, 47 years of hard work. I have to say something, I'm not the only one who worked hard here. When I started in my business, my wife's a dentist. So when I started my business, my wife is here today. She works here every day. So I said, her name is Hannah, Italian lady. I said, you want to come and help me on Saturday? You do paperwork and documents, payable, whatever you want to call it. She came and helped me. She never looked back. She's with me day one.
And so she left the
dentist to work with me. She's here. I will present it to you after.
I would love to. Yeah. I would really love to. So, and I applaud you for giving credit where credit is due. Nothing can be accomplished on its own. You definitely need the help, and you're from what I can see from you, and we had a chance to talk, you're really, really humble.
Well, yes, I don't like big spotlights. I'm a very humble guy. Like I told you, I never wear a suit. I can go, they need work, they need help in the back, I'll go and help them to fix engines, whatever they gotta do. I'm here to do from anything I have to do, I'll do. And like I told you before, I could do whatever I want. I can't do everything on myself. It's just not possible. Like if I want to build my business, there's no way in the world I could do it alone. And I just told you, I've called my wife to come and help me do some paperwork because I'm busy doing some stuff. I can't do everything. It's not possible. She never looked back.
And just talking about humility, for everyone listening, so I will repeat it. He owns Lamborghini dealerships, and we're in one right now. What car do you drive?
Mitsubishi. I want to tell you something about Lamborghini. I had Lamborghini. I'm with Lamborghini family. I have a contract signed September of '79. I am the oldest Lamborghini dealer in the world. And the biggest facility in the world, at the exception of Dubai. Dubai is like they made a castle of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest in the world per facility. I mean, building.
Right here in Montreal.
There's a showroom downstairs here. There's a big facility for servicing cars. It's right on the back. It's a very, very huge place.
Wow.
Thank you.
So that's amazing what you're able to accomplish. And once again, thanks for being here with me. So you've been doing it for 47 years, and you want to maybe celebrate at 50 years of business.
Celebrate, yeah. Correct. I'm going to celebrate at 50
Celebrate
years.
at 50 years of business. How much longer do you see yourself doing this?
Look, I love my job, my work, every day. Every day I love my job. There's a thrill in my job that it gives me satisfaction. I will do it as much as I have health, and I'll keep on doing it. If I'm good till 80, then I'll do it till 80. 90, if I have the strength, that's when I'm going to stop.
Just because of the passion.
I'm a very, very passionate about cars, like since I'm a kid. And yes, passion drives me, that's correct.
And I hear that often from people who are able to accomplish really, really big things in the world. And then when you listen at what they're saying, they just love it so much. Their kids who grew up and they loved something so much, they worked at it, and they were able to bring a solution to a problem that maybe people didn't know existed. So it's fascinating for me to see how far passion and hard work can bring you. So and you're a prime example of that. So your passion brought you into the business, but when did you make the decision from I was working with Mr. John, I'm starting my business, my trade is mechanics, to I want to open this?
Well, do you know the old expression, you're in the forest and you can't see the tree anymore? So I started as a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mechanic, like I say. We work on these cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and all. So we work, and one day it comes automatically to you selling cars. Customers come to you and say, well, I don't use this car anymore, can you help me selling it? Okay, that's how it all started. So selling cars, fixing cars, it's art. Selling cars is an art, and fixing cars is an art, the right way. You follow?
Absolutely.
So selling it, I'm a no pressure person. If I love that car, I'm going to sell you the car because I believe in that car. If I'm going to fix it right, because I believe in fixing it right. So it comes automatically to you. So you sell one car, you sell another car, the snowball effect starts. And you don't even realize it until it says, hey, this is fun. That's how it all, you follow?
Absolutely. But I mean, you know what question I would have is, these cars are really, really high-end cars, right? So when someone brings it to you, do you deal with them, hey, I will get it, and when I sell it, you're getting this, or you pre-purchase these cars?
When we started, we couldn't afford to do that. Example, you will have a car, I'm servicing your car, and you would say, John, can you help me selling the car? Back when we started, we didn't have, I didn't have the means to do that, okay? So I would say, well, you would leave me the car, called consignment, and we would sell it, make a commission. And working, and gradually, we moved on. If you would have told me 45 years ago, I would be able to buy a car, for example, $1 million, which we do that today. We buy $1 million cars. I have the means of doing it. But back then, I did not have the means of doing it. So I would say, leave it here, leave it on consignment, we'll clean it up, we'll advertise it, and we'll sell it. And you give me this much commission. That's how it started.
How did you advertise it in 1979? Oh, that was prior to 1979.
No, we started in 75.
75.
And I registered in 77. At 75, I opened my first place, but I had a job because I needed to get it going. How we advertised, you meaning what, to people?
Yes.
I never did. It's word of mouth. I never advertised it. Today you have to with websites.
That's what I want.
We didn't have internet before. We didn't have the means to buy a newspaper. So word of mouth, if I do a good job to you, your friend's gonna say, well, go see John. He does a good job, or sell the car, go see John. It was a word of mouth. It was a word of mouth till I'm gonna tell you, till we started to really grow up in somewhere around 85, okay? Then we started to advertise, buying cars, work with the bank, get a line of credits, and this is what came out of it.
I love it. And any investors or that's...
I have no investors and I have no partners. I do have partners, sorry, my brothers are partner with me, but I don't have any partners as per se, because being an Italian, my father was from the army, so families are very, very tight. So all my brothers, we work together and we share the business.
That's great.
Yes.
That's true. So you want to keep it in the family?
Actually, well, we're going to keep it in the family. My brothers, at one point, we had 17 dealerships. And I couldn't drive, I couldn't do them all. So that's what I said, you can't build, I had 17 dealerships.
Wow.
From Volvos, from Jaguar, from Land Rover, and my brothers were taking care of those. And I was working here with the classic car business.
Congratulations! Wow.
Yeah, and we sold every one of them. Everything is sold, at the exception of Lamborghini and my classic car division. And my brothers all retired.
That's what you work for.
And I don't want to retire. My brother, and I respect that. I totally respect that.
But I mean, you work hard to be able to make that decision for yourself.
Yes.
Right. So if you, like you mentioned, if today you want to retire, you know you're good, but you still have the passion to do it. But you work hard so you can have the choice. Money doesn't buy happiness, but you know it definitely helps.
Well, of course you need the money to money is an essential thing, but money does not make. I'm a very generous person, extremely generous person. I give a lot to poor people, to people around me. Yes. So I mean, listen, to give you gotta make. So
absolutely. I you know what? There's something that I always have been saying for years. I had it written down. It's along these lines where, in order for you to give and help others, you have to take care of yourself first. You have to make sure that you're here to be able to do it. Because if you're not alive, you're not going to be helping anyone. So you have to take care of yourself, mental health, physically, and whatever. I want to know. You've been doing it for 47 years. You've had ups and downs. What are things that you wish you would have known before starting your business? Actually,
I cannot say I wish I had known that. What I gotta thank God is I did it hard work. Yes, I had my ups and downs, we still have ups and downs. I mean, you know, you come into work in the morning, there's no employee working, it's, you know what I mean, sick, this, so there's ups and downs. And this is my wife.
I just want to say I met Anna, but I didn't know it was your wife. She was super
I had
sweet.
some ups and downs, and I cannot tell you I wish I had done that. I did what I had to do. I can't say, well, I regret not doing this. I can tell you I regret not taking more time for me, possibly. I have 2 grandkids. I love them to death. I spend time with them more than I spent with my kids because I couldn't do it because I was building my business. So what I couldn't give my kids, I'm giving to my grandkids. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell you that I'm going to tell you I traveled a lot for my work. I went to Italy. I'm going to Italy next month. I can't tell you that I say I miss this. I can't. I'm happy the way I am. Could I have done more? Not in business. Perhaps for me. Perhaps. Travel more. Spend more time with my wife. Maybe.
It makes you who you are today.
Correct.
So the sacrifices that you make when you're not in your kid's life as much as you wish, but you're doing that with your grandkids.
Well, I'm taking down the example,
mm-hmm.
okay, because I couldn't do it for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
My very first year, 4th year of work on my own, very first year, 4th year, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't married. I couldn't take a salary. Working hard, couldn't take a salary. Didn't have the means to do it. Expenses, rent. You understand?
Absolutely.
So
you have to reinvest in the business.
I always had to invest in the business. I didn't take a salary for 4 years. I was living with my parents, Italian parents. You don't pay board, you don't pay room, you don't pay this, pay the, didn't do it for 4 years. It's as God's going to say it.
I believe you. Absolutely.
It's as the truth as you want to hear it. I don't know how to lie. I won't lie for my mother.
Because at the end of the day, there's something that you're going to have to sacrifice. And sometimes it might be your free time or spending time with your kids or being able to travel, seeing friends. But at the end of the day, you're doing it for a purpose. If your kids grow up, I couldn't see my dad.
Well, yes, I did it for a purpose. Obviously, you want to succeed.
But you want to create something for them too.
I did.
And that's.
So, sometimes it's hard to explain, and it comes from my heart. What I'm telling you. So it's still today. It's not easy. I wake up in the morning. I love my job. I go to work. I do the best for the company. I do the best for myself. And I can't wait for the next day.
Absolutely. And I think it's a wonderful example. When you're younger, it's hard to understand. Hey,
that's right.
Why is my daddy not there? But once you get older, you understand that. Hey,
I have to tell you, you're 100% right. You can't have both. Do I miss it? Yes, a lot. Could have I avoided it? No. I would come home at night, 8, 9, 10 o'clock every night, work, build a company, want to succeed, didn't want to look bad, pride.
Absolutely.
All that put together, this is what came out.
Absolutely. Sometimes we want the result without the work and the sacrifice. I love basketball a lot. My favorite player of all time, Kobe Bryant. He passed away about a year ago, and his dedication for his craft is unseen. He lived in Los Angeles, and you have other athletes saying, "I've been to LA. I see him. I say, hey, I'm going to a club. You coming?" He says, "No, I'm going to the gym." They're like, "But you live in LA." Wakes up at 4:30 to go to the gym, break, work out again.
Yeah. Every people has a way of doing it.
Yep.
I get it.
You have to. And then when we look at their success, we're saying, "Oh my God, I want this," but do you want the hard work too? Do you want their problems too?
It's easy to say. Everybody wants part of the world.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to go and get it.
No.
I did. Woke up in the morning, Saturday. Friday. I went to Toronto and back, same day, for business. Saturday I had some other stuff to do. Sunday I had some other stuff to do. My daughter's getting engaged, so I had to spend day with her.
Congratulations.
I didn't want to miss all that.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it hurts me because I didn't have the time. But on the other side, I said, well, it was impossible to go home at 9 or 4 o'clock. It was not in those days. It's not possible. We didn't have the means to hire 40 people, so we had to work and close the place, make sure stuff got delivered, make sure the customers were happy. Hey, we could go till tomorrow morning and talk about this, but that's how it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You want peace, but are you willing to go to war to obtain it, right? So it's the reality. And I want to ask you, what are some adversities that you faced that were definitely learning moments for you? Maybe starting the business and you did a deal and you're like, I wish I shouldn't have, but that prepared you for the next step. So some adversities or mistakes. I
don't regret one thing. I don't regret. I can't regret. I did what I'm supposed to do. I made my family happy. I couldn't do it 100% because I didn't see my kids. I had a beautiful mother-in-law. When my first child came up, she retired to look after them because she knows I was working. So.
This is wonderful, to be honest. So,
thank you.
And we didn't even plan on talking about it, but she retired to take care of her. That's lovely. That's love. That's pure love. You can't buy this. You can't. No. This is pure love.
There's no price for that.
This is pure love. So wow.
Anyway,
I don't want to get you all teared up, but
I need that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad if I'm able to get you to that.
So you understand my picture here, right?
Absolutely.
It's as true as you want to live it, and it's as honest as you want to hear it.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, how does an entrepreneur stays ready to get in the big rooms? So let's say someone needs investors and they're doing this. How do you stay ready, and how do you get yourself in a room with someone that can potentially change your life? So I want to start this business, but they have the money and I need them to invest. How do you go after them?
That's a very good question. I've been asked that many, many times. I've been asked that, can I be your partner? I've been asked that, I want to do what you're doing. And I talk to the person for 1 hour. And I'm going to tell you the person is never going to do that because he's not, I'm an educated guy, school-wise. I can ask you a question, you don't even know they're coming. Okay? Today's world, what I've done, nobody understands it. Nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody. Nobody wants to work.
They just want the result.
I'm sorry?
They just want the result.
Well, you just can't get results if you don't go and make your own results. I don't care how it's put together, how it is. You just can't come in room here and you want a lottery ticket and you want to sell to your partner. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. I'm going to give you a very, very, very real example. One of my very, very best friends, we grew up together. He's a bakery, mm-hmm. bread, biscuit, bakery. But he loves cars. Do you know the definition between what's a real car guy? You know what I mean by mm-hmm. a car guy? Mm-hmm. A car guy is a guy like me A guy who loves cars is not a car guy. He loves cars. He's not a car guy. Okay. He comes up to me, says, John, he's from Ottawa. He said, I have 2 kids, beautiful boys. I want to open a car business. Do you want to be my partner? His name is Enzo. I said, Enzo, I know you since we're kids. If you want me to be your partner in the building, it's fine with me. If you want me to be the business with you and your 2 kids, I'm not gonna do it. He said, why? Because you think one way and your kids think another way and I think my way. And it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what? He didn't take it.
Well.
He didn't appreciate that talk. Okay? I said, Enzo, I am sorry. I think one way, you think another way, and your kids think today's way.
Yes.
So for me, it's not gonna work. So he didn't appreciate very much this talk. Today, 2 years later, they went bankrupt. He called me. He said, John, I should have listened to you. Because your kids, they think one way. They don't want to work. They want to drive nice cars. They want to go out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I'm not that sort of guy for you. I can't work that way. So that sort of example. I said to a friend of mine, and I'm not trying to hear this. I said to a friend of mine, I'm happy, I'm at this age, I don't have to live with this new generation. Does that mean anything?
Yes, I understand.
I mean, I'm not generalizing. I mean, you're here and you're working, but I mean, do you agree that if you go back 40 years, how old are you?
I'm 20, I just turned 27.
27, and you're studying, that's very good. But you know many people 27 where I or here, they don't even know how to wash a car. 27. 18, I had my first garage.
So it's a different day and age.
It's a different day and age.
Yeah.
I can't live in this, I can't. Do you understand me?
Now, absolutely. Now it's
Do you understand how I think?
It's microwave generation. They want it quick. They just want it, and you know what?
There's no such thing of quick money in my books. You rob a bank, you're gonna have quick money, you're gonna get caught, you might spend it, you don't have. There's no real secret.
I'm glad you're saying this. I was listening to someone that I admire who's no longer in this life with us, Dr. Miles Monroe, well known. And he was saying, you wanna sell drugs to make money, but you can't sleep at night because you have to watch your money. So he's like, you have no peace, you can't live with yourself. So why are you doing all of this for? So it's just to relate to what you're saying.
You're too young, and I'm not trying to disrespect.
No, I do understand.
You need to understand how I think.
Yes, you know what?
Maybe I'm eccentric thinking, but it's reality of facts.
I grew up in Haiti. I was taught some principles that I feel like people these days don't have. In my personal life, I might have one friend that's my age or younger than me. Otherwise, I like to learn from older people because I feel like you were there before me.
You said something here for you to know, and I'm not trying to disrespect again. The question was, how do you get in the big rooms with people of influence? Okay. I did, and again, I'm not here to flatter myself. I never get prepared. I did millions of dollars of deals, millions, never got prepared. I come in the morning, we sit in the room, we talk, we chat, nothing's prepared. Everything is up here and everything is up, boom. No BS, no this, no that. So we sold 16 dealerships. I sold them.
Can I disagree though?
It's what?
Can I disagree with?
It's possible you can disagree, absolutely. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's how if I come in here, we gotta put a deal together, I didn't sleep 2 days to put this deal together.
No, but that's I will disagree with what you're saying, but what you're saying is correct. When you say you don't prepare, your preparation is the work that you've done.
What I mean by not prepared, I'm gonna.
You're not gonna study for a deal in 2 days, but
I know what I'm gonna go in there, and I know what the story is.
But the reason why you have the deal is because you worked, and someone saw your work that you prepared for. So the work speaks for itself.
I'm prepared, and I don't have, because I have so much experience to say, well, no, guys, this is the way I'd like to do it, and this is why. That's it.
Yeah.
It's probably eccentric, and I sort of agree, but I never get prepared.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Yes, I agree. I said I disagree because you prepared in another way. You don't prepare for this specific way. Yes.
Let's look at it this way. I came in because of my back experience. Yes. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're right.
This is what we need.
That's fine.
If we say it a different way,
this works for you.
Absolutely.
Let's move on.
And let me ask you, what's your definition of success?
Work, passion. Work, passion. If I don't have passion, I won't work. And I'll tell you an example right now. We sold Jaguar, we sold Land Rover, we sold Volvos, we sold Subarus, we sold Mitsubishi. So I have no passion in those cars. I have passion in those cars, classic cars, different breed, race cars. So passion and work is the answer to your question.
Passion and work. That's the definition. That's your
passion equals work. You could be passionate in business, but you got to put it on the table. That's work.
Even though you haven't, let's say you hadn't built all of this, you would still be doing what you're doing right now.
Working 7 days a week, 47 years.
What time do you get in the office?
In the morning?
Yeah.
6:30. I'm here every morning.
Wow. Yeah. And right now
I'm the last one to leave.
Now it's 6:41, and you're doing this with me.
Yeah, I'm the last. But let's say you wouldn't be here. We close at 7. I'd be home by. I live with my son right now. I'm restoring my house. I'm the first one to come in most of the time. I'm the last one to leave.
It's a mentality that I share. I love it. Mentality.
No, yeah. Hey.
I love it. I really do. And when you have the entrepreneurship spirit, you always have things going through your mind. Your mind is always racing. How do you ever turn the switch off and breathe and relax?
The only time I can do that, I have one hobby. Only one hobby. Again, it's got to do with cars, but race cars. I race cars for a hobby till today. So, I meet with my friends. We talk. Let's call it off record. Shoot the shit. So we talk, and this happens. So that's when I take my switch off. In the last one day and a half, back to work on Monday. And this happens on the weekend. I'm going on a trip in Italy right now. It's going to be
next month.
For Lamborghini. I'm going at Lamborghini to work.
I hope you still get some time for yourself.
Well, I should. No, that's fine. This is why I should have done. This is where I'm not going to say. This is why I'm not going to say I regret it, but I should have. But I liked what I do.
Yeah.
So it didn't really.
You know what? The noises, the cars are so on fire that the alarm. The cars are so pretty.
What takes the switch off? My hobby is race cars. I race cars, and I have a lot of friends in the cars, in the hobby. So we talk, and Monday's another day. Winter, I hate winter, don't like winter, so I work in Florida. Sometimes I take vacation 1 week, and 1 week I work in Florida. That's me. It's not gonna be changed, brother.
Absolutely. And that's kind of going back to what we're talking about, the hard work to have the ability to make these decisions, right? Hey, I don't like winter. I'm gonna go work somewhere that's nice. So I would like, when you work this hard, and I'm just assuming you must have had something that you said, oh, I want to get there and do this. Like, I would love to one day meet that person, maybe a childhood hero. Like, for myself, if Kobe Bryant was still alive, that would be like, I can't wait to get to a certain position where we could be in a room where I'm not the type of person, if I see someone that's well known, quote unquote famous, to be like, can I get a picture, please? Because I'm like, why don't I work hard and get to a room where they introduced us? So I would have loved to be able to meet Kobe Bryant, but he unfortunately passed away. Have you had the opportunity?
I have one mentor today. And I don't really want to put his name on the table.
Absolutely.
One mentor. He's like my second. I lost my father years ago, and he's helped me.
I'm sorry to hear this.
It wouldn't be right me to put his name on the table.
Absolutely.
But I do have one mentor, and sometimes I sit with him and we talk hours. And he's a good listener, Italian guy, older person, very, very, very intelligent person, very big businessman, man of his word, no BS. And that's the school I come from. My father was just the same, but unfortunately I lost my father.
Sorry about that. Absolutely. And we're gonna wrap it up, but I still have some fireball rapid questions for you.
Come back if you want.
Absolutely, I would love to.
The only thing wrap it up is because it's 7:00.
Yeah.
Or else I don't really know. And it's not fair for the employees to
Absolutely,
you know.
Absolutely.
But if you decide to come up, we'll make another. We'll make
it happen again.
Another appointment, and we'll get together, and I'm happy to see it for good cause. I'm happy to do it. Do you know how many times people ask me to do for magazine? I'm not interested.
I appreciate it.
Cause,
I appreciate it.
McGill, yes, I'm interested to do it.
I appreciate it. Let me let me ask you. So, what are that I love, because we talked about it. What are the three words that you would tell your younger self in regards of the business?
Honesty, integrity. If you want to have passion and work, that's the words. If you don't have that, there's no formula.
Honesty.
There's no formula. Yeah. I'm telling you, there is. Your name is
Darnley.
Darnley. There's no formula. Dreaming is cheap, costs nothing. Talking costs nothing. If you don't have that.
Wonderful. I appreciate it. Okay. What is the most valuable piece of information that you received?
Honesty, integrity. That comes from my second father. Honesty and integrity. Next time we meet, I'll tell you a little story.
I would love to.
You're gonna have tears in your eyes.
Oh.
My father, which we'll tell you, my father came from the army. Very severe guy, very family guy.
Principles.
Yeah. Okay. Sometime I never agreed with him, and I have to tell you, he was always wrong. Today I miss him. He's my best friend. I miss him so much. We come from a poor family. My father, the only guy working in Canada, 7 kids. But one day I'll tell you a story. Hard to believe the story, but I will tell you.
I would love to. It's Friendly Conversations. That's the name of what we're doing, and I feel like this is friendly.
I'm going to tell you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the story I wanted to tell you. When I started in business, I was 18 years old. My father pushed me to do that. God rest his soul. My father pushed me. He saw me what I had a vision. I'm a visionary. I see things. My father pushed me to that. I can never forget this. One Friday night, home for dinner because I was working, and at night I was working home for you, repair your car till 1 in the morning. So my father got a little upset at me. He says, you know, John, I see what you are, I see what you can do. Tomorrow, I'm going to put you in business. My father. I said, Dad, tomorrow you're going to put me in business. With what? I don't have any money. I says, tomorrow, this is a harmy guy talking to you now. I says, tomorrow, I'm putting you in business and that's it. Okay. Next morning, I found a place. The next week, I got a license. It was much faster back then. And he gives me a check, $15,000.
Wow.
As cash flow to start the business. 15. Grab this paper. It goes like this. Honesty. Integrity. I want it back in 6 months. I said, Dad, I didn't even start the business. You already put a lot of pressure on me. I want it back in 6 months. He's testing me. So this is a story I'm gonna have goosebumps and I cry all the time. So 6 months come, I'm all happy, I'm proud, I have his check to give him back his money. We're sitting at the table, I said, Dad, here's your $15,000. I said, keep it. I just want to know what you're capable of. This is as God is willing. This is in 1978. 75, 78. I gave him back his money. That's not the 6 months, but I literally started operating in registering in 77. So 6 months later, I give him this, doesn't want it, just keep it. So my father was working for a construction company. 1979, he gets a heart attack. No, he survived it. So it's all good. He's 59 years old. It's good. It's all good. So we're sitting at a table for lunch, for dinner, so he tells us, I'm going to go back to work tomorrow because my boss called me and the doctor says you can go work. I said, no, Dad, you're not going to work. He says, what do you mean? He said, I'm going to look after you. You're not going to work. The business starting to work good, you know, and he says, you're not going to go work. I'm sorry. Took a little ruffling, but he accepted it. He retired at 59 years old. So now I want to do something with my father. My father never owned a car, never owned a new car. Italian people, they like Cadillacs, they like Lincolns back then. Okay. So I go to the Lincoln dealer, which is my neighbor close, and I said, they had a car there, and I says, can I make a deal with that car? I want to give it a gift to my father. I make a deal, 15,000. That's that famous 15. So I go to dinner, and I said, Dad, do you want to give me a lift? I got to go to the Ford dealer. I got to go get some parts. I'm going there to pay the guy, finalize everything, right? The Lincoln is in the showroom with a sold sign on it. Sold. It's sold to me. He knows nothing about that. This is as true as you want to hear it. So I go see the guy in the office. While he's looking, he's going on looking at the car. I can see his eyes are glowing on the car. So I come out. He says, nice car. They sold it, huh? I says, yeah, they sold it to you. He was crying like a baby. That's the 15,000. Do you follow? 15.
6 months, keep it, and then...
No, the Lincoln happened a little further down because... So, what else do you want me to tell you? It's work, passion, integrity, honesty. It all boils down to that. Do you follow what I'm saying here?
Absolutely.
From one end to the other. It's pushing. My father's from the army. And you won't repeat things more than twice. That was it. I said, no, we're putting you in business tomorrow. I said, Dad. He listens. I said, we're putting you in business tomorrow. That was it. This is the big start. You follow what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, talk. Here's your $15,000. And he looks at me in his eyes. I said, I want it back in 6 months. Honesty, integrity. Okay, I took it, but it was 6 months. You do that today with a young, it's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So work and work and work. I didn't want to look bad in front of my father. I want to make sure, I want to be happy to give him a $6,000, $15,000. Okay? We're having dinner at night. I said, Daddy, I have your money. Here's your money. He looks at me and says, take it back. I don't want it. Where did you get that from?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want it. I said, fine. So we're going to look after him. He's going to retire and I'm going to buy him a new car.
That was him sowing a seed, putting that investment in you.
I'm going to give him back something that he never had.
Mm-hmm. He did something that's missing a lot in this day.
This year, it's due to my father. My father was a gambler, not a gambler.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to business tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll worry about the little details. The hell with the details. Like we're going to go and kill those people for war, example.
Mm-hmm.
We'll worry about the deal when we get there. You're going to business. My father was not a car guy, he was not a mechanic. I said, we're in a business. I said, Dad, I'm 18 years old. He said, we're in a business. End of story. That was it. That's the pushing. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
This happened because of it.
And he also held you accountable because you knew you had to. That's what I mean by something that's missing, and nowadays there's accountability.
So you have a little bit of my early story.
Mm-hmm.
I looked after him. He never worked a day in his life, ever. We gave him a salary, even though if he didn't work, we didn't care. We had the money, we had the means of doing it, the business was growing.
I appreciate that. Thanks again, Mr. Scott. This is gold. This is gold information.
When the man tells you, here's 15,000, and he goes like this, 6 months. Honesty, integrity. I don't want to hear you screwing people. I was shaking before starting to work.
Mm-hmm.
I shit in my pants before starting to work. Just like this. And he looks at you in the eyes and says, 6 months. Integrity, honesty.
A lot of respect for what was done. Thank you. Thank you again.
You want to leave it? No, you can't leave it.
No. Thank you again. I appreciate it. We're wrapping
If
up.
it helps you, God bless.
Absolutely. God bless you too. I appreciate it when you did.